Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor with what's on my bench. What's not on my bench again. We didn't really get anything done to Jay's this week. I mean, we did. We got a few things done, but it's nothing worth making a video out of or showing at this point. Just kind of touch base. We are ready to install the rear spoiler, but we got to get the spoiler put together. Line it up, mark it, drill holes, because I want to pin the spoiler to the trunk deck. And it's easier to line up, and then we will glue from the backside versus squishing glue out onto the finished paint job. So we're ready for that, and then primarily it's pretty much ready to go into primer, or at least the first coat. Be watching this weekend for the Aqua Rod. I think it's part 6. That's where we'll be in the spray booth, getting stuff just painted for the chassis. Not painting anything else right now. Just that'll all be the chassis work, so we can get a rolling chassis. Is what we're trying to accomplish for the first few videos, I guess. We did get a piece of mail in. Been wanting to exchange shop cards with this gentleman for a long time. Chuck, if you watch this, little giveaway there. As soon as my new cards come in, I'll be getting one out to you. So they're supposed to be done before October. I know it seems like quite a distance away, but but I definitely will get one. Everybody knows him. Chuck's Hobby Spot does exceptional paint work. Excellent model builder. He builds all over the place. He doesn't really focus on one particular thing. He does all kinds of different things. So it's really cool to watch him. I love his personality, his sense of humor. Why does everybody watch this crap? That's funny in itself. But I've not got to communicate with him, which I would like to. Just like I said, I really like that type of personality, and I love his work. But yeah, if you guys want to get a shop card from Chuck at Chuck's Hobby Spot, there's the information. Just contact him. He'll get your shop card out. And if you're not subbed to his channel, get over there, guys. Again, it's free. Just subscribe, watch his videos, thumbs up, leave him a comment. You leave him a comment, let him know Rusty Rotor sent you. That way he knows. I'm trying to support him. He supports me. We all support each other. That's what it's all about, guys. And that's how the channels build up. Like I said, we do it on the hard way. Last video, I asked you to leave down in the comments. What's my number one thing? Balling on a budget. Because I am. I'm trying not to take out of my pocket to support my hobby. And you may say, well, how do you do that? Well, commission builds are one way, because I take the money I make from commission builds and I either buy something I've been wanting for the hobby, a tool, get something fixed, like with the 3D printer. Buy a few kits for the stash ad, or just have a little pocket change to get some paints, whatever it may be. That's how you ball on a budget. I could just take out my pocket or use my credit card or whatever and buy whatever I wanted. It's not that I can't afford it. It's just I set out, how can I do this without doing that on purpose? So it's the same principle, just like anything else. If you got no money, you can't get nothing. Even though I could just pay for it myself. But that thought process can also be very bad, because that what if, that rainy day thing. I don't want to take money away that is more important to me where it's at than a model car. So if I can make or get through the hobby to keep the hobby going, that's what's important, and keep the mentality that it's no different if at the end, you just got paid, and at the end of it, you got $5 left. What do you do with that $5? Well, that's not enough for me to do anything for modeling, you know. So I guess I'll just hold on to this $5. Maybe something will come up. Maybe I need to get a sandwich while I'm out, you know. And then when you're out of money, you just don't do nothing. You know, you can't buy nothing. You don't, spend money you don't have. I've been there and done that. But with a hobby, as everybody is aware of, this hobby can be very, very expensive. How do you do something that you really love so much and have so much interest in? And well, it's all, in today's world, modeling is so expensive. Well, for the past 6 years, I figured out a way to ball on a budget. It's just a slang term. But it fits, because if I buy a pack, let's just say, because I don't have one around me, this was Detail Masters steel braided line. The $7 or $8 that cost. I can go to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, any craft store, and buy jewelry wire that has really the same look. It's not exact. It's not as pretty, but it looks a lot like it. I can buy 3 spools of that wire for one little package and one size of steel braided line. So I'd have enough to do hundreds of models for the same price as I'd pay for the one. It's not to take away from Detail Masters, because I love their products. I got a rack full of their crap up here. But it's, how do I achieve building model cars and building at the level that I build at and getting the things I want and things I need? Sponsors are great, but it's not doing what, typically it would be doing. It's just, having them, it helps bring stuff to view, to use, show you guys. It's all inspirational based type thing. We're never going to be in the meat and potatoes where we go out and buy the $200 Tamiya kit or the $200 Johan kit that's, rare and is vintage. We're not, I don't know. Just the cheap, quick, easy things that you can use. You can buy locally or you buy online. Like I saw, can't think of his name, but he threw a little quick video out there. He ordered all the flocking from the website that we had talked about in one video. It's because it's cheap, guys. Anybody can go buy Ken's Fuzzy Fur for $6.99 or whatever it costs, $7 for that tiny little tube. I have one. Fred Henry gave it to me. It's teeny tiny. I can fill that thing probably 6-7 times out of one bag they send you. The same crap. It ain't no different. There's nothing more special about Ken's Fuzzy Fur other than a little plastic tube that comes in with a cap and he's got his label on there. It's not knocking him. It's still a good product. But for $6.99, $7.99, whatever it costs, you may catch it every once in a while $4 or $5. That little big bag is like $2 or $3 and change. And I can fill that thing probably 9 times. Refill it. So if you like the little container, by all means, and you've already bought 20 of them, well, buy from that company, because you can refill those little containers you like so well. Like I said, 8-9 times before you would even have to think of buying more. And just think of how many kits you get out of one of those little containers. I think one of those little containers, I could probably do 6-7 kits or more out of the flocking, especially if you sift it. You're not clumping it. But that's balling on a budget. Save your money for the more expensive things, the good things, the kind of things you can't kind of get around. You can't, like Bob Smith Industries. There's generic brands, and they're labeled the same, just doesn't have, Bob Smith Industries label on it. I guarantee it's the same glue. I benefit the fact that my daughter-in-law works for Gorilla Glue, so I have a secondary choice to use, and I've really come fond of it. It works very well. You just need to know how you apply your glue. I mean, and if you got that, you've got it all beat. Uh, and there's just other scenarios like you go through all the trials of finding the great chrome paint. To me, the all cloud works okay. The Molotov works okay. Not really 100% sold on any of them that I'd be fantastic about. So, but you're gonna pay the price for those. So save your pennies for the good stuff. Uh, shop around. Uh, hardware stores, antique stores. A lot of hardware stores, guys, believe it or not, have bulk aluminum, brass, and believe it or not, sometimes it's cheaper than buying the brand name, where you get 2 or 3 tubes in a pack. It's like red packaging. I can't remember the company name. If I can buy a 6-foot piece for $1.70, and this is a full length tube right here. How many of these do you think I can get out of a 6-foot piece? And I spent $3.50, $3.70 for 3 tubes. It's all balling on a budget. How can you get what you're trying to do, but yet don't break the bank? And detail at this level, I guess, is the main thing. It is hard to do. A lot of people, it's just easy to just throw money at it. And I've done that. A lot of my stuff's super expensive. I mean, it's not cheap stuff. I have cheap stuff, but and overall, I got highly expensive tools in here. It's just what you're trying to achieve. I knew if I could find things and use things that were cheaper and buy them in bulk, where I don't have to buy per build or once a year, anything like that, I can buy and have enough for 5 or 10 years and do the math and break it out what it costs per build. I'm saving hundreds of dollars. Kit buying. Yeah, you get excited, you want that kit and you want it right now. And, well, you know what? Be patient and wait, because somebody will get excited like you are and they'll go buy 10 of them and then realize they don't need all 10. Then they'll sell it for a decent price until they get down to like the last 3, and then they want the astronomical prices for them. Do some trading. Do, whatever. Work out a deal. If you can pick up a commission build, because that's clear cash for you to put in a jar, or like I have a hobby account, and just use that for your hobby. It's not coming out of your joint account or your personal account or anything like that. Don't use that money for personal life. It's like it doesn't exist until it comes time. Well, I want to buy that 1960 Corvette. Well, go in your account. You got $40 in there. If that's really what you want, you go buy the kit. And you didn't have to take it out of your pocket. It didn't come out of your everyday life. That's balling on a budget. Now, is everything in here balling on a budget? No, we kind of covered that already. It's not. We bought on a budget to build the shop because I built it. So there was no labor involved. Materials, overall total, to give you an example, because at the time I got the 3D printer too and everything else, I invested $3,000 into this hobby. That was the flooring for in here, the lighting, the 3D printer, and all the building materials to build the walls, the trim, all that stuff. And I waited to get the price, because the prices of materials were high. You guys know that. So they did come down a little bit. So I saved a little bit of money by being patient and waiting. And then I achieved, a nice hobby room. It's got nice, checkerboard floor in it. All the desks are black. Now we've rearranged it and we got the diorama table, which is, it's crazy. I sit here, guys, I look at that diorama and I'm like, it's like a little kid at a candy factory. I can't wait to get over there and, go through everything. Well, I know exactly what's on the desk. It's all nice and neat and in its place. But not, like right now, my wife's using it to work on hers. We got the diorama base. I need to get that cut and get the foam underneath it so I can get it up out of the way for right now. That way she has an actual solid table to work on. But yeah, that's all about it. Like I said, I could have come in here and just threw money after money after money, thousands of dollars, the best of everything. Now's the time to do it. I'll invest $5,000 or $10,000 in my hobby. No, because that $5,000 or $10,000 is an amazing vacation with my wife somewhere, or a major repair to my car or my home. Uh, those are all the things I got to look at now. I can't just be, well, I'm 25 years old and I got a great job and I make good money, so it's not a big deal. Well, I'm 57 years old, going on 58, and semi retired right now. I mean, it's still up in the air. I may be going back to work. I don't know what the future holds for me yet, unfortunately. But meanwhile, I ball on a budget. And then if there's something you really, really want, like I've always wanted the Johan 69 Javelin. Way too expensive for me to just pull out of my account, or I mean, I could go buy it, but I don't. That balling on the budget keeps it slamming me in the head. No, dummy. Don't take it out of your own account. Work for it. And how do I work for it? Well, Jay's like, hey, I want this built. If you build this, I'll do this. Excellent. So now I'm building a full-blown Pro Touring. And yes, my labor would outweigh the price of the Johan kit, but that's not the point, because the second factor comes in. He's a friend. And he's given me other stuff too with it that it accommodates and balances out. Because the most important thing is I got the kit I wanted. Nothing else mattered in the world at all. I just, now I know I have the Javelin. And yeah, I get excited. I want to start building it now, but I've got other stuff I'm working on, so I can't start that project yet. So everything plays in a part. The balling on the budget, getting excited, sometimes throwing money at it. If I have excessive amount of money and there's something I've really been wanting and I know I just couldn't afford to do it out of the hobbies account, I could definitely do it out of my account, but I don't want to do that. So I'll save my money in the hobby account for the rainy day, the slush fund. That's what it's all about. So when I want that 60 Corvette, I have the money in there. I can go buy it. I don't feel bad about it because, you know what? I didn't have to pay for it. Really. I mean, truly. And the other thing is, most guys here on YouTube and people in the real world think, well, he's on YouTube. He makes all kinds of money. This channel makes absolutely zero money. And I know guys that got thousands of subscribers, they make absolutely zero. That's why you see them trying to sell t-shirts, coffee mugs, Patreon page. Then they will get monetized because all the stuff costs money. Every time you go buy something, it's not like 50 cents here and there back in the day. We're talking $7, $8, $9, $10 minimum for stuff. It's all in that range of like $3.50 up to hundreds. So how do you keep a hobby going that costs so much money? Well, I buy in bulk and I buy on a budget, or ball on a budget. That way I don't have to worry about it. Because there may be 4 or 5 months I have no money. I do, but I don't. My account has no money. Just a bare minimum in there to keep it open. And then I know if there's something I'm needing, I'm wanting, I gotta round up a job. Now, a job would be a commission build. Well, this isn't it, but you know what I mean. To make that money, then I ball on a budget. I stock up. I buy 2 or 3 things of glue. What I'm ever going to use in a 6-month period. I try not to extend other than some of the paints like Splash and Gravity. I try not to extend things too far out, especially like glues, because if they get a leak in it or anything like that, they'll harden up and you just wasting money. So try not just till you're almost out, or then order you a new one. Trust me, I got the big bottle of this stuff, and they get tight with excess glue around it. They clog up, and before you know it, it's all chewed up, and then it seeps air. Well, they dried up the bottle of glue, so that sucks. But same way, if you guys want to get into 3D printing, yeah, that's expensive. I got almost $1,000 invested in that. uh, and it's worth half that right now, just because they constantly come out with new models. It depreciates what you just got. Uh, but I can maintain that as long as it doesn't get to be nickel and dime me too much. Then I can keep it going. Uh, Same way as anything else. But I've showed you guys pretty much every video or close to every video a way to ball on a budget to get what you need, and then instead of just impulse buy it, save your money up, then buy the stuff you want, even if it's in bulk or say you got 6 builds coming up and there's all these things you want, like all the Detail Masters, the complete detail up kits. It gives you the dash stuff, the badging, the grill, all that little detail stuff. Those are like $12 to $20-something. Well, if you got an extra $400 or $500 to blow away, and that's what you want to put in those 6 builds, then you need to have that cash flow to cover that. Then you buy them, or you catch them at a model show, cheap, not free, but you'll catch cheap. Good examples like that detail wiring. It's marked out just a couple dollars a piece, so it was a great deal to jump on it. So always be looking for the bargain instead of the best. Lee Barrett sent me, I don't know who makes these. I'll find out, guys. These little finger protectors keeps you from cutting your finger off. Well, I knew these were coming. I just didn't know which day. And I was in here the other day working on what we're going to take a look at here in a second. And afterwards, I called and I talked to Tom, and he laughed. He said, "That's the video I should have made." It's not really funny, but it's it's real life stuff. So it happens to every one of us. So this accident happened about 12:30. These were sitting out in my mailbox at 11:30. If I just got up and went out and got the mail, I'd have been excited about it and see how well they work. I would have had them on, and my accident wouldn't have happened. So that being said, I thought it was funny. I called Tom. I said, "Hey, send him some pictures." I said, "Don't ever say I don't put my blood, sweat, and tears into a build, because I do." Literally. To give you an example, because I haven't cleaned it off yet, I just wanted to be able to show you. There's blood all that. That was completely covered. I did wipe down my tears, because when I cut, I hit bone, and it immediately brought tears to my eyes. So the tears were dripping on there. Blood all over the side. I've cleaned up most of it. I got the work area clean, but I literally bled like a stuck pig all over my bench, all over the floor, all over my clothes. It looked like I had just gotten murdered. And all I did was slice the tip of my thumb open, almost off, but I got the flap back down, and it's okay. It's healing okay. Tom said, "You should have filmed all that." I was like, well, at the time I concentrated working on the model, wasn't thinking about it. Yeah, probably would have, but you guys get to see some of the aftermath. The desk I've got cleaned up now, the floor, of course the clothes went in the washing machine, and it's been a couple days, or a day, whatever it's been. You can kind of see the slice mark there, maybe. There we go. It was just enough, the tip of the blade, because it's brand new. I only put about that much down in my finger, but it was enough the tip hit the bone. It's like, immediately draws tears. It was like severely cracking your funny bone. It ain't funny. So, that's one of the reasons why I didn't film it. Plus, I was aggravated because I'm trying to get this done, and I only had X amount of time down here. But I want to thank you to my best friend, Lee Barrett, for sending these to me, so now I can avoid, cutting any more digits, or potentially cutting one off. He also was gracious enough to send us, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. This is the pulley kit. Like I said, he is getting into the realm of lathe work and for scale modeling. So these will be products that he will be featuring and have up for sale soon, if not now. But he can custom make you a set of pulleys, and then he sends you little belts. I don't know why that's in there. I think you just got to put it in the wrong bag. But anyways, that's for the Corvette build. And I do have the alternator pulley already over here in a different spot. I have to find it so I can put it with this. But that 572 is going to get changed to make it look more realistic instead of using a 3D printed front drive for the engine. And we still got to figure out how all that's going to incorporate, but I want that because it will be visible straight down through the hood of the car. Third place prize for the 1,000 or 1K giveaway. I'm going to go ahead and announce that. This isn't the only part of the prize. There is other parts, and I'll reveal those as we keep growing. Kind of tease you and get you excited along the way. A little mental note. I want everybody to understand, first and foremost. Yes, this is a solder pump. No, it's not exactly the same as what you go buy off the shelf anywhere. It's not. You can argue with me all day long. I don't care. I know for a fact it's not. Lee took this and the small one, and he completely redesigned it. It's got all different components inside. They're just better, stronger. Creates more suction. It's got a harder spring. It's a more sensitive button to release it. It's the suction cups. He paid out buku money to have these designed and mass printed. Well, while he was recovering from his injuries and surgeries, he didn't get in touch with them as often as he was. Well, the company went under. So there is no more of the little ones, and you can no longer get the tips. These are not the same tips as what you would get with the regular solder pump off the shelf at Ace Hardware or, Hobby Lobby or anything like that. Do those work? Yeah, they work, but they don't work as good. So he revamped it. Like I say, he spent a lot of out-of-pocket money to redo it, and then it's a shame the company went down. So we were supposed to get one of these for each place, which kind of sucks, but I understand, that's how the world works. So third place is going to be the recipient of 1 out of 10 in the world. There's only 10. I don't know what he's doing with the other 9. I think he's keeping them for spare parts for his, since he can no longer get the parts that are made to replace the internal parts here and the suction cups. So, the housing is just like you buy off the shelves. Same way with this. That's the pump inside here and the spring. It's all been changed. The suction cup's different. But to give you another experiment, so this is number 1 of 10. So third place is going to be the recipient of this because it's something special. They're not going to be. You can go buy them off the shelf. Don't get me wrong, but you're not going to get the exact same thing. This thing works so smooth. This is just the hood. Pull it down. Look how hard that holds that. So imagine if you're trying to set a real delicate windshield in place. Now, you see my thumb up here. See that? That replaces it. It just, without a lot of jumping around or anything like that. And it comes right off. If you're doing that, just pick it up, shake it. It doesn't go nowhere. Now the solder pumps ones, they don't hold as strong. They hold okay, not as strong as this. This is only be washed in Dawn dish soap, warm water, clean it really well. Make sure the surfaces are clean you're using, and this tip should last you a lifetime. But again, at the end of the day, it's a great little prize. I thank Lee for sending it, and I hope whoever wins this and all the other little goodies that go along with third place, which we'll reveal little by little as we go. I hope they enjoy this and get a lot of use out of it. I use mine all the time, and I won mine in the same way. A contest Lee was holding, that's how I won mine. And I'm grateful to him for doing that, because I would have never, till later in friendship, of course. We've been friends for almost 6 years now. So yeah, that'll be with third place. The other thing he sent me, you guys may be familiar with. I don't know. I never was until he mentioned it. These are the arc weld decals. They're a raised decal. You can feel the detail, the texture in them. Now, I don't know how to apply them. He's got some instructions here for me to follow, and I got to call him before I do it because this is primarily like for my Trans Am build. Some areas around the roll cage and stuff like that. I want that realism, that detail, and these are ideal. This company is no longer in business. Just don't ask, because I got scraps from Lee, because what he bought into it and was going to resell these for the company, and the company went under, and he can't get them anymore, and what he has is all he has, and he uses them a lot. And the realism, if you ever want to know, just go to Zen Modeling, Lee Barrett on Instagram, and look at how he's used these decals and how real they look. They got the clean weld bead, and then the arc weld bead, and they look amazing. And if you're really looking for that little piece of realism on your model, it's just one of those things. So, all that being said, what's on my bench? We know about Jay's Cutlass, where we're at with that and everything else. What can we make this car stand out? It's a beautiful Corvette. It's classic. Anybody builds a Corvette, you can build a bone stock and have a beautiful model. You don't have to do nothing to it. Just, build it. You can even build it bare plastic, like an old promo kit, and it's still a beautiful model. I mean, I love Corvettes, so I'm kind of partial to them, but this is a horrible kit. Like I told you, I don't remember from when I built it as a kid. And I'm sure it was probably a glue bomb now that I look back on it. This was horrible, guys. Absolutely horrible. Would I build it again? Probably, because now I've learned what's to look for and everything else. I'm kind of more, a little better off. I got a little more experience under my belt. So, but I knew with what I wanted to do, I'm going to take away some structure support to the model. I have to do something to put some of that structure back in first before I go hacking away at the body. So, it's installing the rear cowl. We got the one that fit the best. It gives you two. The other one was way too wide. I don't know what the hell that one was for, but so we got it in there. It actually fit in there pretty good. The only problem was this was too thick here, so it put a lip out. And this one lined up not too far back, but where the top had a lip. So I just got it in there, glued it, came back on the backside with some CA glue, worked it in, got all set up. And then I moved to the front, and the front was horrible. I had to glue this side first, and I let it set up, and then I came over, kind of left the little, I call them fangs, left these fangs loose, and then I set the front, which it set out like this, so opposite of this, but like this. So I had to push the nose cowl back in, open it in, pop this loose, and then it set right in place. It was no big deal. So I was able to get that glued. Did the same thing, CA glued. I let it set up dry. I used Bob Smith Industries Instaset, which really helped in this case. And then I just came back over with thin set, and kind of let it melt the plastic a little bit. Then I worked the fangs in. And then, this fang was offset. This one was offset over here, so I had to shave them down to get them, back in line. And now we just got to do a little body filler right here and here, a little bit on the side seams, and we'll be great. It worked out good. It didn't warp the body by doing that, which I was really scared of. This support right here is strong enough to kind of keep that in check. So now I got both the front and rear valances in, and now I'm ready to start cutting. So you can notice things are missing. We opened the trunk, and we opened the cargo area. This is the area where the soft top would go down into and be stored when you're driving it as a convertible. Then, it'd open up and you pull the top up out of it and latch it back down on the windshield. So we are going to use the convertible top as just display. I thought about going the whole length and making this from scratch to where it would fold up and go in there. Very ambitious, as my good friend Tom would say. I am not that ambitious, as much as I want to try it and do it. And I've seen other guys do it, especially like on lowriders, so I know it can be done. So there's not the, well, it's never been done. How the hell am I going to do this? It's not that mentality. The mentality is there. So I can go back and watch their videos and kind of learn the basic process and then try to recreate it for what I need. But that's way over ambitious. And if this was going to be a year-long build, most definitely I would try it. But I've got enough stuff that came in the kit for detail to put back here. A spare tire, a toolbox, some tools. So we can give that little bit of, when you're looking down in there, you can see that detail, and that'll be really nice. Because this will be open, this will be open, the interior is open, and the hood is open. So we get all this detail right here on top. Then we look down the sides, and we see some nice tires and wheels, classic paint job, classic interior, really, really elegant to me. And hopefully that's enough. Is that enough to whoa everybody? Well, probably not, but it's going to be a nice build if everything turns out well. If not, you won't see it. It'll be put up until I can try to figure something else out with it. But that being said, opening that up, we had to start making lines. We need a side panel here, a side panel there, a side panel here, a side panel here. We've got a floor pan that goes in right here, so we'll have to add a faux floor in right here so we don't see those holes. The interior, this back here, we will leave because it's got the indentation for the spare tire. We're going to use the kit tire and the classic Corvette hubcap as the spare, so it'll sit in there like that. Have a toolbox next to it, maybe a 4-way lug wrench over here, and something else. I got all kinds of stuff I can put in there. But we got to build up all those little things, but we don't want to secure it to the body yet. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to do all this extra masking and puttying to cover up so I don't get spray everywhere. So we will frame these up and then remove them, get this painted, and then come back and install those. So that'll all be done. And it'll get carpeted back here on the floor, in here, and then of course the floor of the Corvette, or the interior of the Corvette. So I thought that was a really nice addition. And we'll be adding seat belts to the seats. What else? There's not much to the interior as far as looks wise. I mean, you guys can see it's all molded in. You can see I cut the tabs off the back here. I will add a flat piece of styrene, a little lip sticking out, the shape of this. So when this will be hinged and this comes back down, it'll have a good place to rest. Because that's what those two tabs on the back were for, is for that to rest on for the whole body. So we opened this up, so we took away that support. So now we got to put that support back in so everything sits right. You know, this got to be sanded a little bit, but this actually fits in there really pretty good. A little gap like it should have. So then when this opens up, you'll be able to see down in there. So we got to make it look really nice. You know, blood all over this. There was more, but I cleaned up some of it. I just left this so I could show you guys. The trunk opened up real nice. It was really thick. So that's how I cut my thumb. I slipped and right across my thumb. But I used a brand new number 11 blade. I used the back side of the blade and just kept scribing around until I got through. So we don't have to worry about support down here. It's pretty thick and it'll sit down on the bottom right here very well. But we will add a little flange here on the side and on this side here a little bit, and probably a wider flange here for everything to rest on back here, and this will be hinged also. So we'll have, you know, all this open, the interior's open, and we'll have the hood where we can take it off the hinge and set it to the side so all the engine compartments is exposed. So that's primarily all I got. It's just been basically tinkering down here. I haven't had time to just sit here and focus. Again, videos take a lot of that time away. That's pretty much it. We do have some stuff coming from, I made an order with Hobby Nut Models, stuff that I paid for. It'll be coming. I think I got one kit and a couple colors of paint. We'll go over that when it comes in. MGSF, I talked to them in the beginning of the week. They got some stuff they're sending out, so we'll do a review on that when it comes in. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. guys, it is the weekend. Be watching for the Aqua Rod. I think it's part 6 that'll be coming out. And what else? I already told you I'm gonna be a grandpa again. It's a boy. I am beyond the moon. If you look at my eyes and wonder what's going on, you stoned? No, I've been crying. It's a very emotional moment for me. Uh, a grandson kind of says it all, especially when it's from a son that carries your last name. It's strength within my family that knows that my family name is going to carry on. I love my granddaughters dearly, always will. They're very special to me. A grandson just means a little bit more because as my granddaughters get older and they marry off, that Wyckoff name will go away. They'll take their husband's name and start their own family and try to carry their family name on. With doesn't mean that I never have a grandson down the road, but being right now is really special. I am at the great age to really enjoy the grandchildren versus being in my 60s or 70s and trying to enjoy grandchildren. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope and pray that he likes models because I made a promise to myself that if the firstborn grandson that carries my name would inherit all this. And hopefully he grows up and he takes interest in it. And if he does, then, if I leave this earth before then, I will make sure this is all packed up and boxed up for when he becomes of age, that he can get it out and maybe only have to add a few things like maybe some paints and some glues and have a really head start in the realm of modeling. Same as my granddaughters. If they show interest in it, then they'll get this too. So, but I would like to welcome to this world. He's not here yet. We still got a while to go, but Alexander Richard James Wyckoff. We will call him Xander. Or Little Ricky. I ain't made up my mind yet. I got not ridiculed, but razz all the time for being Ricky because my father was Richard. I'm junior, he was senior, and I didn't want this child to have the second or the third title. So now I can kind of pay back a little bit. Call him Little Ricky or whatever. But he's got a great, strong name. I'm super proud of my son and my daughter-in-law. This means the world to me right now. And we'll leave it at that. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you to all my past, present, and future subscribers. If you're not subscribed, guys, remember, this crap is free. Just sub. Hit that bell notification so you know when these videos come out. You'll see some great things. You'll see some crappy things. You'll see real life as it unfolds for me. That's what this is all about. I'm not the glitz and glam and the flash and the perfection and the perfect videos. This is me. And let me know down in the comments what you think about the Corvette, the massacre at I don't even know what to call it. I gotta incorporate that in there somehow. But it did. It looked like a massacre happened in here, and all it was just a little slicing. But it was just deep enough that it got in there, and it really, really sucked. It feels good now, though. It's only been like a day or two, so it's doing really good. But if I had gone out to the mail, I would have had the protection. I wouldn't have done that. So, again, I'll look and get with Lee and find out information. That way I can post that on another video and let you guys know where you can get these at. You may be aware, and that's terrific. I recommend highly getting some. You probably might be able to get them on Amazon, I'm sure. They're used for like sewing and other people, that type of industry. So they'll be widely available. I don't think they're that expensive at all. And then be looking for that video to come out this weekend, guys. I think that's all I got. So, till then, guys, you have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Again, let me know down in the comments what you think. Again, as you can see, I was emotional because I'm still trying to comprehend the fact now, knowing what it is, because we've been kind of biting at the bit for the past week or two to find out what the sex was. Not that we'd love it any different. It's just kind of, we all had that feeling that it might be a boy, and sure enough, 99.9% chance. But we'll know 100% once we see the ultrasound showing the but I couldn't be more happy. I mean, I would literally probably be jumping up and down and screaming, but I physically can't do that. But I am over the moon with this news. My number one fan, this little Lila Bug, is going to have a little brother that she'll get to torment and terrorize. She's not very happy right now. She's having a little brother, but she will. She will definitely grow into the fact of having a little brother, because she's a little bit of a tomboy herself. So they're going to click very nicely, and I can't wait. So I'm babbling on enough, guys. You guys have a terrific weekend. I'll be watching for that video. And if you guys got any comments, ideas, or anything like that, please drop them down there. Thumbs up. All that stuff helps. Keep everything balanced so the channel keeps growing. And, you know, we can say we did it balling on a budget. We did it the hard way. And it's going to be more rewarding in the end that we did it that way. So, peace. You guys have a great